Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We're jumping right into it. We got this engine and another engine on trade for an old tractor. And I want to see if this guy runs. It's a horizontal shaft 18 horse Briggs and Stratton V twin. So this would be great in my 129 loader tractor if it runs. So we're just jumping right into the project here. Thanks for tuning in. If you get a chance, hit that like and subscribe.
Okay? And I need you to tell me if that sparks. Okay?
Where are you going to be?
I'm going to be on this side watching this spark plug.
Okay.
Okay? Ready?
Yep.
Here we go. Did you see it? You gotta get closer. You gotta be like right here. I just did it. It won't be bad. But you should see a little spark right in there, okay? Look real closely. It's tough to see. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, dear. Okay. So, we know the engine has spark.
That air got up my nose and a few blocks down.
Stinks, huh?
All right, so we got the new spark plugs in. We got spark. That was my 8-year-old daughter you heard in the background, kind of hamming it up for the camera there with all her hagging and gagging. Pretty funny. So anyway, what we got going on here, we're going to hook this up to the battery starter. And at this point in real life, I thought, here we go. This baby's going to start right up. But I'm not that lucky. So here I am. That's my makeshift gas tank. I got a primer bowl on there like you would have on an outboard boat motor or something. So get some gas into the carburetor. Click it on. You can see it spinning over. Everything was going really well, but it just would not start. So I kept on playing with it here, trying to turn it over, adding some starter fluid. I ended up looking in the carburetor again, took the carburetor off, went through it, made sure everything was real nice and clean, and the dang thing still wouldn't start. So I thought, well, this spark plug on this side looks a lot worse than the other side. So let's pull this head off, take a look at it. Maybe there's something that I could easily fix. I don't know. I was really nervous that I'd see some rings mashed up on the cylinder here. So getting the appropriate socket, going to pull out those head bolts. And then, of course, when I went to go put it back together, I needed to rewatch this video. As I thought as I was pulling them out, I'm like, okay, this one goes here, this one goes here. Nah, it didn't work. So that was kind of a benefit of having it on video, is I was able to play this back and see exactly where each one went. You can see me kind of pointing to them like I'm making a mental note. Okay, this one goes here, this one goes here. Again, that didn't work. Either write it down or videotape it because you want these things going back into the right place. So yeah, that DeWalt impact didn't have any issue pulling those head bolts out. Came out really smooth and easy. So here we got all the bolts out. Just pull it off. And you can see on the head it's really grimy and wet. You can actually see some fluid leak out there, which I believe was mostly gas. So guys, you've seen me struggling with this for quite some time now. What I did is I broke out my compression tester to see if maybe I didn't have compression. Because obviously if it's not starting, it's either not getting gas, air, or spark. And we tested the spark plug. We know it's getting spark. We believe it's getting gas because we believe when we took this carburetor off and went through it that we fixed it up real good. And we know it's getting air because there's nothing restricting the air. So the other thing that could keep it from running was compression. And I thought, oh crap, I do not want to figure out how to put in new rings and such. But I broke out the compression tester. This cylinder tested fine. This cylinder showed no compression. And I thought, oh my gosh. So I pulled the head off, and in this valve right here, which I believe was the intake valve, I don't know that much about engines, guys, we found a carburetor screw stuck in the valve holding it open. I'm sorry I'm a little bit jacked up, but yeah, so once we found that, we cleaned it up best we could with some carb cleaner and paper towels, because there's a lot of rust in there, just on the head, and the old all the old carbon buildup had just kind of turned to a sludge mixed with gas and maybe water from sitting so long. I don't know, but the cylinder looked fine, and so did the cylinder walls. So we're gonna go for a startup here. Wish us luck. Got it all put back together. So I got my plugs hooked up. I've got my makeshift gas tank and a little primer. I do have the throttle open quite a bit here with this spring and my choke. All right, cool. Now that we know it runs, we've got to make an adapter for this so it'll work with the Cub Cadet drive axle. So, Cub Cadet drive axle. Man, I don't know if that backlight's good or bad. Let me switch. All right, so we've got the Cub Cadet adapter, which goes on the flywheel. And this doesn't fit on there anyhow. So what I'm going to do is weld this nut right to the back of there, nice and centered. And then it just will thread right on there with this on there, and I'll be able to hook up the Cub Cadet drive axle. And that's about the only modification I can do right now until we get this in the tractor, which is major surgery, because we're going to have to switch, possibly cut out a little bit of the frame to make it work. And then we'll have to see on the hood situation where I run an air cleaner and how we run the exhaust. So right now, like I say, I want to make this adapter, and then we'll get the Cub Cadet here and we'll start surgery on that baby. Get this in, and then once it's in, then I'll dial in the carburetor and everything. Instead of using this water bottle as a gas tank. So I want to run it from the actual tank and everything. And that'll give me a lot more time to dial in that carb. But everything runs like it should, starts up good now. And life is good, man. All right, thanks for tuning in. Check us out next video. Like, subscribe, bell for notifications. We'll see you next project.